Hello everybody and welcome to another episode from the Realm of Vasten. My name is Fixxitt and it's viewer mail time. Well, specifically one letter, and I'm going to get to that in a moment because I got a letter. I call it a letter because it's so in-depth and long, which is awesome. And that's why I want to discuss a little bit today, and I want to discuss some lore and things like that. But before I get to that, I want to show you the progress that has been done, and it is, well, it's a lot. Because what I haven't really shown you yet is behind these trees that you cannot see. Ha! This. I got one of these domes done. I have to admit, I'm hoping it's going to grow on me a little bit. It's not exactly what I had hoped, but it's like kind of one of those things. Like I got kind of committed. Do you want to guess how many? Okay, let me show you. Take a look. Now, this is interactive fun with Fix. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. If you're watching this right now, I want you to look at that dome. Now, I actually did the entire underside as well because I wasn't sure where this is going to be. Now, I can go back up and harvest the blue. Oh, it looks like one's peeking up there. I can harvest the blue concrete. But take a guess right now. Guess how many blocks or how many stacks of blocks this is to go the whole way up. It's not, obviously, it's hollow. I didn't fill it in. I'm not insane. But guess how many stacks is and put that in a comment, okay? Guess how many stacks of blue concrete powder and put that in a comment, and the winner next video, whoever gets the closest or gets on the head, wins a prize. Okay? No counting and no plots looking. Just guess. Just guess how many stacks. Okay? And I'll tell you next video. But it's a lot. It's a lot. So anyway, okay. So I went through, made a whole bunch. Actually, I completely stripped us of lapis here, and I had to go mine more. So yeah, so we're out of lapis now. I'm gonna have to go on a major mining trip, but that's not gonna happen today. Today, I want to discuss a few things about the palace and about what we're doing. It's really coming along. I mean, it's really starting to look good. In fact, it's kind of like so big, it's actually hard to get a vantage point of it. You know what I mean? Like everywhere you look, you're not seeing very much of it because it's just so big. But I thought I would bring us along over here and just kind of take a look. I mean, look at how much this is coming. Now, when last we were here, let me think where this was. Okay, I had the blue tower right here, and then it went across here, yes, and then it was just a hole, and then I had this tower. Now, since I've started to work on this inner area here, okay, that's been sort of the newer thing that I've been working on. Ooh, there's a bigger fall than I thought. So this is the new area. It's actually an entrance. I tried to do a little bit of furnishing. Granted, most of the furnishing is like this, is like an empty room. But I want to start to get an idea of how I'm going to make this look, which brings me to the viewer mail. So, Mystic Malevolence wrote 2 different messages to me that are really in depth and deep. I had referenced before about how when I googled images of a palace, it really looked kind of like a castle, and I wasn't really sure. Hey, you know what we can do with this? And I wasn't sure what the difference is, and I said, well, you know, it's kind of like a palace is just a decorative, just kind of like a decorative castle, really, and like maybe richer people live there, maybe something like that. And so what Mystic Malevolence says is, this is going to be lengthy, so hang in. And I got to read it, so I can't even like do anything while I read it. So just like hang in there and check this out because it's worthwhile. It's educational. As far as I'm aware, the historical difference between a palace and a castle is its purpose. By its nature, a castle is a heavily fortified structure with the goal of keeping people living within the castle while living. They are designed to be defended from attacks of any kind. This term is used a bit more loosely in modern times than in Minecraft. A palace, on the other hand, is where the royalty lives. While a palace can be fully defensible castle, many, like the Palace of Versailles, were extravagant mansions because they were built in already well-defended areas. So for the purpose of building, I would recommend, I want to have you guys look at something so it's not, because I know you're just looking at your screen and listening, but I can't do both. I have to look up. Okay. I would recommend making the palace very grand, if not for monarch, something benefiting of a monarch. I think so far you are doing very well in this respect. Doesn't need to be super well defended. That's down to the lore. I think a fair amount of color will bring out the rich feeling. I suggest trying a ballroom, a grand dining hall, a master bedroom. Keep in mind, Louis XIV allegedly had 100 servants to help him get out of bed in the morning. And of course, many wine, alcohol, cellars, and ego-serving chambers. Guest and family suites, and probably in there somewhere if the Lord would allow such things. Finally, what really completes a palace for me is the gardens. Since this is a desert palace, though, perhaps you could go for courtyard, hanging gardens feel, which a bit of greenery tucked in between the roofs and towers. Just a thought, it might not work the style you're going with. That's one of the greatest comments I've ever read. Like, it's in depth. It really thinks through things like that. It gives me a ton of ideas. That's my favorite part. It gives me a ton of ideas for this whole thing. And yeah, I am blown away. So yeah, A, thank you for that comment. B, anyone else who has ideas like that, put them in a comment. Give me some help, because this build is just going to be massive. And you can see what I have worked on is I've worked on a lot of interconnecting stuff. Now it looks like it did kind of, I kind of let myself down here. Let me see if I can, oh boy, sandstone breaks so fast. Maybe I could just do a little like stair here, possibly. Just, I really like this area being sort of connected. I think that really adds a ton to it. Let's see, how about this guy in there? Yeah. In fact, actually, maybe. I took this down the other side too. I think, yeah, I did. Just so you can get back in there. Yeah, I kind of like this though. How many fences? I'm real low on fences, that's for sure. Okay, let's just do this instead. Boom, boom, boom. And how about one more? Yeah, that'll be very nice. Okay, cool. Anyway, nice little way down there. I like that kind of stuff, interconnected stuff. So, you know, that's an interesting thing, and that's one of the things I tried to do here. Now, I tried to do this before the comment, so this was my own idea, although, I mean, how many ideas are you going to have, honestly? So, okay, so that is kind of why I wanted the greenery. That's kind of one of the reasons why I started adding some of the acacia wood, and I actually may add use some spruce, too. I think it works pretty well with the sandstone. So, what are we going to do next here? What's the plan? So, here is the plan. I need to work out some of the lore for this. Like, who is this great monarch? What is going on in that huge... Oh, another thing I heard is Pride Ceratops told me that these are called onion domes, which makes total sense. It makes so much sense. I always feel like I've heard that somewhere before, but these kind of domes with like that, where it kind of goes out and up and then back up, that's a little bit of math. So that kind of like your bigger numbers are down here. So it's like 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. Then you go in 2 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1 and then 1, 1 and then 2 going up 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you kind of get that curve. I don't think my curve is great, but it's okay. Anyway, onion domes. Thanks, Pride. So, okay. So, you know, what are we going to do? What's the next step, right? I mean, what's the next step? Like, so, building-wise, the next step is going to be to build the second tier of buildings. So, if you think about this, because I don't want to build symmetrically, and I don't want to build a box, you know, a big box. I see a lot of people build castles, and I'm not... Everyone comes from somewhere, and you always start building. And I'm not saying I'm the master builder, but I see castles, and it's kind of like you start with the outside wall, and you do a shape, like a box. Or if you're a little bit better, maybe you do a shape more like, you know, like the and maybe out a couple, then maybe in a couple, then out a couple, you know, what, something like that. But then at some point, even that is like it's not that great, you know. So what I want to do here is I want to basically make towers and buildings and then connect them. And then what I have started to do now, this is impossible to show without getting up a little bit higher. Let me go sleep, and then I'll just go into spectator so you can see, because I cannot explain this with words as much as if you just take a quick look. So yeah, there's a bed. This is my little hidey hole bed right. Oh, nice. Right in here. Okay, so what building? Okay, two things. There's exterior and there's interior, right? Let's take a look here. 3. Okay, let's take a look here so you can see where I'm talking about now. What I have started is I've started the second tier of buildings, and actually it's taken more space than I thought, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. So, and then I want one more in the middle. So like this building right here is one of the newer buildings, and basically it's just another building right on the edge of these buildings that are already there. Then what I'll do is I'll add another one over here that's just a little bit taller, and then another one over here, and then another maybe two over here. And then I'll have just one space in the middle, and that's where I'll add the big building, which is going to be like the throne. That's going to go up high. That's going to go up like to here, you know what I mean? But if you look at the floor plan, I thought this was going to be, I mean, it's really big. It's really big, no doubt. Don't get me wrong, but it's not quite as big as I feared when I first laid it out. And this is how far we have come so far. So let me tell you, doing that onion dome, that was a lot. It was a lot of resource gathering, because I had to get, oh man, what did I have to get? Like 4 more stacks of lapis, which, I mean, yeah, I have fortune, you know, I have fortune pick, so it's like, it's not that horrible, but it's not that great either. So yeah, it's a whole bunch. No, I didn't need 4 more stacks. I'm insane. I didn't need 4 more stacks. I need a stack and a half or so, combined with what we already had. But still a stack and a half of lapis is, you know, I mean, that's a bunch of lapis. So, you know, I kind of wish we were using light blue, because it's really similar, and you get, you know, 2 per, because of both. Whenever you mix bone meal with lapis, you get 2. The other thing I'm doing is on the interior walls of this, like here's what's going on. On the old interior walls, I did this kind of stuff. Okay, really technically this is one of the newer walls, so bad example. Here's a better example. Okay, on the old interior walls, I was doing this full ornamentation. Takes a long time, right? Then I realized this is going to get totally covered up. In fact, actually, if I walk into this place, and I'm not, yeah, so if you walk into, like, say, here, oh, I love how connected this all is. See, look, this is all like decorate. It's totally unnecessary because it's the inside of a room. I mean, it's nice, but I could decorate this however I want. And there's a real good chance I'm going to use like something like glazed terracotta that's going to cover all this up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So that all being said, I'm not doing that anymore. Even this one, where I just real simple, but it's still really unnecessary. So what I started doing was over in this, I better eat. Over in this area, I just started doing flat, and then if oh man, scared me and almost killed me. Wow. Okay. Okay, so I started just using flat, so that way it's easier to connect with some places. So things like this, you know, just stuff like this where I just want to have the ability to get up and down and weave, and I love this stuff. So what we'll do is we'll have like maybe one going down here and then maybe one coming out here and going around. The other thing I want to be conscious of is where... This is the main way in. Yeah, it is. It is. So this way in must connect to the other way out. And let me show you where that is at this point now, because things have changed a bit. So that way in must connect with over here. To see, this is not as far as it was now that all these buildings are in. It's a lot closer now than it was before. So... this is kind of where we are. Let's, yeah, this will be okay. Let's just do this. I'm really trying not to use very many stairs because of how horses and stairs don't play that well together. But I think what we're going to do, is we're going to do something like, I'm going to use regular stone here. And again, this is why detailing the outside of this is not necessarily the greatest idea. It's fine. It's just that I hate doing things twice, you know what I mean? Like, doing things twice just is such a waste of time. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this guy come along to over there. And that's the other thing that makes this whole process easier is if I do something like this. I don't care if I cover those up at all. This is actually going to be nice. So, okay. So if you look, see that walkway over there? That is screaming for like a connection. Right? So let's connect it. So something like this, oops, something like this is going to work quite well, I think. Let's bring this over here, and then we'll come in one. Maybe we'll just go straight diagonal. Actually, that's what we should do. Yeah, this will be okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll have almost like a whole walkway here. In fact, you know what? Actually, I'm going to bring this out. Instead of diagonal, we'll just make this really straight. And something like this. So this is kind of how I've been building this whole thing. I've been building like little hidden, well, not even hidden that much, but like little interesting kind of walkways. And then this gives me an example. This gives me a way to build a room and a new building. So and not just make squares, because that is something that I am working diligently to avoid, is making squares and rectangle shapes. I'm trying to be a little bit better, you know. So what we'll do is we'll come over here, and then we'll drop down, and I will eat. Again, I've been going through an amazing amount of both food and ender pearls, like an amazing amount. Yeah, and then let's just go right along here. This will work really well, I think. Sometimes I have to check. I have fallen in that lava an amazing amount of times. I haven't died yet, but I've fallen in that lava just because like I back into it so many times I can't even tell you. So something along these lines, I think that'll work well. Yeah, we'll just go up here. I'm not building this whole thing on camera. I just want to give sort of a bit of an insight on how I'm building this whole palace. And this is it. I'm just building one room at a time, basically like this. So now thinking about rooms inside, right? Ballroom, yes, check, absolutely. Big kitchen, yes. Servant quarters, we are standing in them most likely. Most likely the servant quarters are going to be down here, down kind of in the bottom level of this entire place. So probably let's do this and just connect this, because this is going to be the walkway. Yeah, perfect. Okay. That's pretty good. And then we just need these supports here and here and here. Oops. Not there. Okay. So, like this, then all of a sudden, see what we're doing? So all of a sudden, this little easy walkway that I just did, because it just naturally follows the curvature of the area. All of a sudden, this becomes a house. All right, and then what we'll do is then we'll well, you know what? I don't like 2. Because of the overlays on these blocks, I like to use at least 3, if not 4. Actually, to be honest, let's use 4. I know even numbers are weird, but I'm not putting windows here, so it's okay. 3, 4, yeah. Oh, good. Okay, perfect. And that can be maybe a door or something. Okay, cool. Let's go here. And there. Okay, cool. So that's the kind of thing, right? Okay, so that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking about doing. Let me build this little building, and I'll come back and we'll see how it shakes out, because this is going to have to connect at least. Well, maybe not. I'll take a look. I'll be right back. Well, I worked late into the night, and I think that we have accomplished all that we are going to accomplish today, I think. I do want to show one more thing that has come out recently in a Pride and Swan video. They did a collab, which only makes me mad that I didn't get to be a part of it because I wasn't online that day, because it was so cool. It was so cool to watch. But they built an unbelievable organic build. So I want to show you here quickly what I did, and then we'll head over there and take a look, because if you're only watching my Vasten videos, first thing I recommend is go subscribe to those two and everyone else, but they're doing some really cool builds, and it'd be worth your time. Just you kind of need to. This isn't like a, I don't know, like a ForgeCraft or a Hermitcraft type of server where you can watch one person really get the whole story. I think in this series you almost need to watch everybody, because that shows you how the entire city unfolds. You know, we're all working in the same city, in the same place. So here's what I did late into last night. Is I built 2 more of these buildings, kind of the second tier of buildings, and they turned out pretty well. So this is the main walkway. This walkway is going to stay here, and we're just going to take it right around and right over here. That way it'll be mostly outdoors, I think, is the way I want to go. I've been thinking about it, and I think that's going to give a real feel of like a almost like a sidewalk within the build. Oh, whew, I thought maybe I didn't throw far enough. Okay. Yeah, so this is another building. So this is like, it's nice. It gives you the feeling of that you're in a city, even though you're kind of up, not high, but you're kind of up there a little bit. Little things like a door here that goes out and around Does this connect? I feel like maybe it does, actually. Yeah. So then you can go down here. And this doesn't connect, but I would like it to. I wonder if you can get through here. Oh, yeah, perfect. So this would be like a way to get into here. Oops. How about if we do this? Something along these lines? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then what we'll do is we'll slab off this area here. All right. So that is the first thing. Let's see. Then you can walk out of here. Oops. No, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. So then you walk out of here. Give me you. And we'll see, yeah, this part. So there's going to be like an underneath walkway here that I think is going to be really cool. This could maybe a way to get into like, almost like like a slums or servant, no, I don't want to say slums, a servant quarter sort of situation. And this is the main walkway. So I love how this is all interconnecting. I think that is super cool and going to be really good for this main build. But that's kind of all the time I have today as far as building it, and I don't know if it looks like it or not. You know, I've accomplished a lot today, a ton, and this is the other entrance out of the palace. But you know, these are rather maybe smaller episodes now because the amount of thinking and time planning and everything it takes, and plus I did that today, and that is wow. Well, okay, technically I did that last night, but that was a lot of work. Not really to do the roof, although that was no treat, because that was just copying plots, but to get all that lapis. So don't forget to leave me a comment, and guess how many stacks of lapis we went through there. But I want to show you on the other side, I want to show you the other district on Pride and Swan. It's actually between Pride and Swan's district. They have different districts. Swan is sharing with Trempeon. So this actually involves Pride, Swan, and Trempeon. I didn't mean to do that. I don't think it involves the other districts, but it's so cool. So what it is we worked out some lore. I didn't work it out. Not me. Pride worked out some lore that really worked great. And what it is that the end. Oh, so there was dragons used to live in this land, in this realm. There used to be dragons somewhat frequently in the Second Age, and they have since all died out. But in this battle, a great dragon fell, and the dragon was sort of controlled by the elves, and the dragon had an egg. The egg was kept in the elf fortress, in the elf castle, the elf palace, whatever it is, which was in in this crater that was then teleported to the end as the spell of displacement took place. Which, remember, teleporting to the end, that was a byproduct of the spell. The spell was mainly meant to kill everyone, to defeat the horde of the zombie pigmen. But as a byproduct, it ripped this out of Earth and sent it to the Nether. So that dragon egg went to I said Nether, I meant end, to the end, and it hatched. And that is the Ender Dragon. So the Ender Dragon is actually kind of new. Dragons, the idea is that they grow forever. As long as they're alive, they grow. And this is what Pride and Swan did in their collab. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This is so actually the ground doesn't do it justice, so I'm gonna take off here and let you see here, but just to get a proper look, because it is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Look at this. And yeah, that kind of divides sort of their districts. Look at this. Oh, you know, I might be showing you a Trump spoiler. Sorry, fam. Look at that. Look at that. That is so cool. I'm really, really blown away by it. I just think it's just awesome. It's just awesome. So, you know, I in a way, I don't even want to use that as my world load as my screenshot, because I don't want to like take credit for their amazing work. But so we'll just do this. We'll just do this. But anyway, that's it for me today. That's it for me. Ooh, nice red. Thank you so much for watching Realm of Vasten. Please subscribe to all my friends. They're great builders, great video makers, really, really cool peeps. All right, and I'm gonna keep on building here. I'm gonna keep on building. I'll see you. I'll see you next episode. The palace is starting to come together. It's starting to get an idea of what it's gonna be like. I'm just thinking that new tower there needs to be extended a little bit higher, but I think the idea is starting to come across. So I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.